If bison dwells at the heart of the land, raven defines the extremities. Wovoka was a Northern Paiute prophet who dreamed into existence what is now known as the Ghost Dance of 1890. The Ghost Dance gave beleaguered tribes the promise of a better future. A revitalization movement, it was misinterpreted by the government and deemed hostile, resulting in the murder of Chief Sitting Bull and soon after the massacre at Wounded Knee. When I was at Wovoka's grave the first time, a party of Lakota people had just recently visited. They left 4 sacred medicine bundles attached to the small fence enclosing the grave, one attached to each of the 4 corners. The 4 cardinal directions are a component of the sacred for many Native American tribes, including most all from the plains. As do others, the Lakota assign specific colors to the 4 directions: red, white, black, and yellow. The medicine bundles enclosing Wovoka's grave depicted those same colors. During his lifetime, Wovoka wore an eagle feather attached to his shirt sleeve, or sometimes on his hat. He was an eagle person. I was drawn to his grave due to my experience with raven. When I was living on the Ridge, a remote area north of San Francisco, a pair of ravens tried to get into my house. For weeks, they knocked on my front door or at my bedroom window. I would go outside to investigate, and the ravens would fly off. In time, it occurred to me that they always flew off in the same direction. After a month of watching them do this, I took out my atlas and charted the alignment of their flight. I had recently been asked by the Kushaya Pomo to accompany their dance group to Russia in order to represent them as a public speaker. I realized that the alignment of the 2 ravens went, albeit not precisely, in the direction of Moscow, where I was scheduled to speak. I went to Moscow and gave my speech at the newly opened Jewish Museum and Tolerance Center. After I had returned home, I discovered that the 2 ravens were still there, trying different ways to get into my house, or otherwise to get my attention. I took a closer look at their flight alignment and saw that the line's projection passed over Schurz, Nevada, where the Walker River Indian Reservation is located. That's where Wovoka is buried. Years ago, I published an article about the Ghost Dance. As a result, I was well aware of who Wovoka was. In fact, a friend of mine from L.A. and I had been talking for years about meeting in Schurz and visiting Wovoka's grave together. My friend died of cancer the year before I went to Moscow, so our trip to Schurz never happened. After Moscow, I decided to visit Schurz. I went there, and to my delight, I was befriended by some of the Northern Paiute, including members of Wovoka's family. They took me to see his grave, and while there, just inside the gate to his gravesite, one of the elders pointed up just as a bald eagle flew directly above us. As we were driving back, the same elder asked if I had seen the 2 ravens sitting on the telephone line as we exited the cemetery. I hadn't seen them, but I wish I had. At dinner the night before, I had told this elder and others about my experiences with the 2 ravens at home, and about how it was the ravens that had led me to Schurz. I had not seen the pair of ravens as we departed the cemetery, but the elder and others had. I came home from Schurz, and there were no more visits to my home by raven. So perhaps this tale is 100 coincidences strung together as a story. But I choose to take insight from the experience and will continue along the path shown to me by my feathered friends. Following my first visit to Schurz, I returned again to be filmed for a documentary about Wovoka and the Ghost Dance. Joanne Pedden, a filmmaker in Reno, included me in her latest documentary, Ghost Dancers. Hopefully, it will air on PBS later this year. There's a scene in the film where I'm talking with Wovoka's great-granddaughter about him. How cool is that?